what do you know about premarital relationships? You know, if you want to get married, should you date more than one guy or more than one lady? What should we do as Christians who are preparing to get married? What are some of the things that we should know that would help us to establish better relationship that will lead to marriage? Today, that is what we are going to be talking about in The Truth That Sets Free. As you can hear from the background, we are at the 41st NAS Congress at the Techiman campus of the Valley View University. And as you can see, I'm repping the NAS UJ anniversary t-shirt. God willing, this November 2023, NAS UJ is 60 years. So I have with me a few NAS UJ members who are here at the NAS Congress with Pastor Kusi and myself, and we are going to be discussing and talking about relationship. I know you guys want to talk about relationship, right? Yeah. Wonderful. Yes. So we just want to ask you guys a few questions about relationships here and there. Pastor is going to help me do that, so that, you know, people want to hear. People all want to know what we must do before we get married and all that. Who here doesn't want to get married? Raise your hand. Everybody wants to get married. So we need to understand a few things. So can we get the ball rolling right now? Yes. Are you ready for us to go? Yes. Wonderful. Pastor, tell it over to you.
Yes. So as we seek to dive a little deeper into relationships, I want to ask some few questions. Now, there's a belief among young people that we these days engage in multiple relationships. I believe we understand what that is. Yeah. Like one guy, many girls, one girl, many guys. Is that true?
Many
with your experience, is that true? Now I want to go a little deeper into that. What causes that? Why do guys today date multiple women and many ladies date multiple guys? Why?
Well, I think it's one of them is lack of trust. And so they want to test the ladies if one or the other fits their life. And so they want to test them to see.
It's almost safi.
Yeah.
Now that's tricky. We'll go to another person. But then if you are testing multiple ladies as a guy because you want to test their loyalty, then how loyal are you? Because by testing me, you're yourself not very loyal. Anyway, let's go to the next person.
I was about to speak on the same thing, but because of the question you asked, I've paused. Okay, so I would want to talk about another point. Okay. I feel like some guys just want to play the girls, not like they are really serious about them. Because if you really want someone, you wouldn't add multiple ones to it. If this is what you want, you work for it. And I mean, build it with yourself.
So some guys are just greedy. They want multiple. A guy will do for now. Yeah.
Okay, so as the saying goes, never gather your eggs in one basket. I will never trust just one girl or just take one girl to date. It's never going to happen because I want to escape broken heart. You get me? And who will choose pineapple over cocktail drink? Thank you very
much. Anyways.
So as you are saying, so if the girl is doing the same thing with other guys, you are fine, right?
Oh yeah, it's okay.
So you are okay if you are dating multiple ladies, and the ladies you are also dating multiple other guys.
So you're okay with
relationships, as long as you are not married. Now I think the person then boils back to the fact that what do you expect in a relationship? Is it something that you are looking up to single out a lady whom you trust to kind of continue into something meaningful, or is it just for the fun of it?
So the lady who actually likes me and wants to have something with me would more of not do the same thing, but would try and be someone I would always want to talk to or look up to. So if I go and fall back, I have to run to her and tell her I did this and that, and she is going to advise me. I'm personally, and every boy here, we drawn closer to that person, because aside the many, there is that one particular person you can't just cheat on.
But do I sense some level of selfishness in what you're talking about? Now you want one out of them to be dedicated to you. Okay, how about your dedication? Anyway, think about it. Any other person?
Okay, I'll talk about support.
Support.
Yes. My point is most people on campus date because they want support from others. So, for instance, if a girl is dating a guy who is brilliant, maybe he's getting academic support from the guy. meanwhile the person also wants financial support, and the academically inclined person don't have that aspect, so you go and get the financial aspects.
Anyway, maybe
It's like the more ladies or guys, I mean, you're speaking for guys, for ladies, right? The more guys you have, the more your financial base is strong.
that we would come to, because of some of the answers we are giving. I want us to come to the purpose of relationships.
Yes.
Okay, dating.
Yes.
What is the purpose? What is the reason behind? What is the idea behind it? I think we're going to come to that. But is there anything anybody wants to say as to why people
do multiple
dating before we move to this other?
Okay, so sometimes we date because we want to get someone we can talk to, someone we can always confide in. Sometimes it's not always that you can talk to your parents about certain things, but your peers, you can easily talk to them. So when you find someone you can trust and have conversations with and feel comfortable with, why not date the person?
But then, with that, are you saying because of that you need to try many other guys in order for you to find the one that you can trust?
If there are two people you can feel comfortable with, why not? But it's advisable to get one person you can trust. You can't even trust people, but if you get one person you can build that kind of trust or relationship with, that's fine.
What you said, just raise a hand.
I feel like for someone who doesn't have priorities and choices in life, it's better to date other people so that you see like varieties and stuff, so that you know what you want. Sometimes you don't know what you want, but by experiencing it, you know that, oh, this I don't like, oh, this I like. So then you get to choose and pick what you want. Yes.
I think what you're saying is more like you go to a restaurant and you take the menu. Give me everything that you have here. Let me test and see which one I like. It's serious.
And anyway, just that guy has said nothing so far. Let him just talk, and then
okay. I
we're
think
closing on this.
Our definition for dating, that's where we normally get it wrong. Dating doesn't mean that you have to go and do what married couples normally do. But if I'm dating you, there's nothing that I have to promise you that I'll marry you. So if I have that kind of thing in mind, then it means that there's nothing like hardcore feeling there. You see, yes. So if in case I'm dating you, I can also date this girl, date this one too. And if in case I check the two of them and I think that, okay, this one is far better than the other one, then I go into maybe proposing to her. That's how I think.
Yeah, I think to establish the context, right, so that we all know we are talking about the same thing. Here we're talking about relationship. You know, for us as usually Africans, there's a different, you know, when we say dating, courtship and all that, people have different understandings of that. And we don't want to go into the academics of it. So let's say relationships, okay, where you are, you not sex, but at least
you are serious, a bit serious.
You are serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say serious relationships. Okay, why do people enter into multiple serious relationships? But the answers that you have given has made it necessary for us to ask the question: why do we enter into relationships? And why do you, as a person, think that we should enter into a relationship? Why don't you just get up and go and marry? Why are relationships important? Maybe when we're able to clarify that, then we would know whether we should go into multiple relationships. What just some sample views.
Personally, I think we have to study the people we are going to date, we are going to relationship with before we get married to them. Because if I don't know the person, assuming I just meet this person at this congress, and I'll be like, maybe because of looks, I like you, I love you or something. I don't really know her, so how then do I go into marriage?
So then one of the reasons why we enter into such is to get to know people, to study the person before we marry the person. Any other that comes to anybody's mind? Why we enter into relationships, even serious relationships? Why should we enter into relationship at all? Is there anyone here who is not in a relationship? Raise your hand. You are.
We're on TV. Be careful. Somebody may be watching.
Anyways,
yes, okay.
But you understand the concept of relationships. You may not be in a relationship right now, but you may have been in one before. You may enter into one with your understanding, how you understand it now. Why should we enter into relationships at all? At all. Okay. This one said to study.
Okay, to me, the main reason why I will enter into a relationship is to get someone who can help me, who can I can trust, share my problems with in terms of difficulty. The person can help me. And also, you have to also help me to grow. So if you are not in support of that, if you are not helping me to grow, like Elvis, the way you talk, the way you eat, the way you dress, you have to change it. Do this, do that. These are the kind of people or the someone that I need in my life.
Someone to help you to become a better person.
Yes.
Okay. Any other? Maybe just one more.
Yes.
And then we'll move into
Or emotional security.
emotional security.
Yeah, sometimes you are going through a lot and maybe you can't go to a counselor or you can't go to like your friends. Telling your friends, it's like a lot of people. So then someone you confide in and someone who like you can trust. Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody to be there for you. Somebody. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, Pastor, I think you may want to say something.
Yeah.
Then we go to the next question.
Yeah. So someone to help you emotionally. That's what. But Pastor, I wanted to share something small.
Yeah.
Based on what has been said so far. Why do we enter into relationships at all? Why at all do we enter into relationships?
What?
And I think what he said is true. To study the person, to get to know the person, helping you to become a better person. Pastor, can you add just one?
Yes. You see, relationship has a purpose.
Yes.
And we don't just enter into relationship for entering's sake. Any other reason apart from getting to know the person so that we can begin something meaningful is I consider to be worldly. Now, for example, I'm a student on campus and I have a reason for being there. I'm studying whatever it is. Now, the moment I enter into a relationship, that means I've gotten to a place in my life where I believe that I'm mature enough to begin to study somebody who can be a prospective husband or wife. Any other reason apart from that, I see it to be not necessary. Because for emotional support and all that other stuff, we need to build some kind of friend cycle
around us.
We need to have friends. We need to have people around us.
Family.
Yes, families. And so for that, maybe the idea that I'm dating multiple. Because in Ghana, when we talk about dating, we sometimes say, well, it's white people, they mean this. But in Ghana, when any lady who is going out with somebody says, I'm dating. So we understand the dating to be a relationship.
Yes.
Basically. And that
on the street.
On the street. that is the term. And anytime I want to go into dating for that purpose, I need to ask myself, why now? Am I ready to take the next steps ahead? How many years do I have according to my plan for life that I want to be serious for marriage relationship? So dating should be the starting point. This is the beginning of a marriage relationship. And we begin there to study somebody in order for us to find out if they possess the qualities that I am looking for me to get into the next phase of the relationship.
Yes.
All right.
Pastor, I agree with that very well. And let me add this to it. Okay. So in dating, you are studying someone potentially who could become a life partner.
Exactly.
And because of that, you'd have to concentrate on the person.
Yes.
When you have multiple people that you are dating, you would have divided attention. You don't know the person enough. Like supposing you are dating about 6 ladies at the same time. How do you really get to know them? So then at the end of the day, you might get married to somebody you don't quite know. So you have to zoom in on the person and study the person. Then again, in dating, we should not be selfish with dating. You are not serving your own good. As somebody said, you could have a guy who has money, a guy who can help you do. So then it becomes, it's like self-help.
I would say relationship or dating is not an investment idea.
It's not an investment idea.
It's an investment opportunity.
No.
For you to get in, to get funds. No.
It's not a provision store.
Exactly.
to so that I get this from here, I get that from here. So it's about studying the person, getting to know the person very well. Also in relationships, you get to know yourself also very well. And I think our brother here mentioned that.
Exactly.
When I'm dating somebody, the person also helps me to understand who I am. There are many faults with us that we don't know. So as I date the person, as I get to know the person better, the person also gets to know me better. As I correct the person, feedback. Okay, so that makes me a better person for marriage.
Exactly.
I believe that relationships may not necessarily end up in marriage, but relationships should make you a better person for marriage.
Yes.
So when the focus is not just enjoying yourself, when the focus is not just getting as much as you can as the world has it, but the focus is on making yourself a better person for marriage and studying that person potentially for marriage, then by definition, it has to be exclusive.
Yes.
Don't you agree with me on that? By definition, it has to be exclusive. If you are studying the person to know the person, then you have to focus on the person to know the person. If you are in the relationship to make yourself a better person, and for us Christians and especially Adventists, we believe that marriage is between one man and one woman. So in the relationship, you are learning to make yourself a better husband, a better wife. And when you are making yourself a better husband and a better wife, you cannot be having multiple partners and be a better husband or a better wife. So then, when we look at all these, then we can see that relationships should be exclusive.
Yes. And again, before we continue, they want to come and play ball here, but let's continue quickly. You see, everything that you begin to do, you are actually speaking to yourself. Yeah. You're speaking to your mind. That this is how it is. This is how it's supposed to be. Now, when you begin your marriage journey with multiple partners, what is happening is that, you see, the moment you do that, you are giving yourself options. If Adjoa is not good, I have Amma already. If Amma doesn't work for me, I have Akosi already. Now, that thing that you put in your mind, you are actually starting something that you don't want to continue.
You are educating yourself to be promiscuous.
So eventually, when you settle on one, and the one, yes, no matter whoever it is and whatever you see, eventually may prove certain qualities that you don't like. Then that point, when it comes, you are married already. Then the options you created for yourself will begin to tell you, oh, if she's messing up, there are many ladies there. So that is the beginning of, that kind of adultery in marriages, because we begin with multiple mindset, options. So if I enter and then she's messing up, why not? Your mind is already set up for that. So you easily begin to go out there to look for other partners. So it should be exclusive. Should I even say one at a time? Yes, one at a time. And you don't go in with promises.
And it's better if it is actually
once. Yes, you meet her and, Charlie, I like you, I love you, I want to marry you. You yourself, you are not settled yet when and how you want to marry. But you met her, you don't know her so much, but you have declared your final intention. So that after a couple of months together, you discover certain things that I don't like. Then you see, it's like you giving her a broken heart. So you start one at a time, but don't go in fully. Declare your intentions on that level, on that friendship zone level, before we graduate step by step to the high level. Yes,
Yeah. So having looked at the purpose of entering into relationships, I think you'd all now agree with me that it has to be, as Pastor Apple might say, one at a time, if not once.
If not once, yes.
If not once, one at a time. Wouldn't you agree with me on that?
Yes.
No. You see, the purpose of what we are doing here, this thing that we are doing, we can have a Bible study on relationship, but we want to be real. We want to be real, and we want you to have an understanding that you can take away from here. Not because the pastor said it or an elder said it, but yourself having that understanding, that having understood why we enter into relationships and what relationships are supposed to do for us, to get the best out of relationships, and to be able to build yourself to become the woman that you should be. That's the wife you should be, and the mother you should be, and the husband and the father you should be. It's better to teach yourself to have one partner. And to build that into you, so that entering into marriage, that understanding goes with you. One might say that maybe this thing of multiple partnership is one reason why there are many breakups in marriages these days, because that's what you've been doing so far. You don't settle with one person, so you enter into the marriage, and then there's lots of cheating and all those things around. And so we've understood that.
So you wanted to say something? Are you sure it's okay? All right. Okay.
All right. So we've understood that to get the maximum, the best out of relationships, and to get the best out of marriage and out of life, it should be one person at a time, if not once. If you agree, raise your hand.
Nice. All right. Anyways. So now, yes, let's look at this other one. People have this belief that once you start a relationship, it must be sustained by something, and people believe that it must be sex. So if there's no sex, there's no trust. If you are denying me sex, then it's a sign that you don't love me, or you are seeing someone else, or you are not truly into me. What do you guys think about that? can we sustain premarital relationships without sex?
Without sex. Or Pastor, I wanted to ask first that, do any of us know somebody who lost their relationships because they didn't give sex? Do we know any such? So then it's
do you have a victim here?
Say I'm a witness.
Yes.
Anyways, so
there's a witness there.
The response is quite overwhelming.
Yes. You want to say something?
Anybody wants to share?
Wait, as an experience or the reason why?
Yeah.
Anybody so you'd say that is it's a phenomenon that's out there. People lose their relationships because they didn't give sex, right?
Yeah.
That's the case. Now speak on what you want to speak on. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Okay, so you asked the question that does sex sustain the marriage or relationship. So my take on that is sex doesn't give slots for trust in relationship. Because what is the assurance that if a person has sex with you and has that enjoyment with you, that person is not going to have the same enjoyment with another person. A person can have sex with you and still break up with you. If there's no trust in the relationship, sex is just some few minutes enjoyment. After that, what's next? So to me, sex doesn't really give a slot for trust in the relationship or even to sustain the relationship in the first place. So
okay. All right. Yes.
I know we are talking about relationships.
Yes, relationships.
I believe that is why I heard somewhere that in the church, when you are courting someone, it's supposed to be at least 6 months. You shouldn't go like very beyond 6 months or even a year because of like issues like this, because you know yourself, you'll be tempted. And then I also read a meme somewhere that once you have sex, you realize that it's overrated. So it doesn't really it won't sustain a relationship. But I believe what will sustain it is like good friendship and good vibe. That's it.
We like the contribution so far.
Yeah, good friendship, good vibe. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's give to MTN.
These are fine ladies, so let them talk.
Yes.
Well, most people think that being in a relationship and then having sex with the partner makes him or her the one. But I don't think doing that makes the person the one, because we all meet people. You like someone, you get close to the person, you become friends, you study yourselves, and then you look for the good things in the person to make the person the one for you. And so if you have the notion that having sex with the person or the person giving him or herself to you is making the person the one, and that's because the person has given him or herself to you, he or she is never going to leave you, then it's a lie. Sex does not sustain a relationship.
Okay. Sex doesn't really. Oh well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. You lost your voice.
So I have this male friend. I play with males a lot, and then we were talking. Then sex into relationship came in, and then I asked him that, why would you want to have sex with a lady and then say she's the right person for you? And with him, he told me that if I'm dating you and you allow me to have sex with you, I'll force you. I'll ask you if you give it to me. I would do it. I'll have sex with you, but you are not the one for me, right? If you allow me to have sex with you, then it means that what is the assurance that if you go out and other guys ask you, you are not going to give it to them? So if I'm to marry you, and say you are tired of me, and then you go out, you find other guys, you will surely have sex with them. So if I'm dating you, I will ask for it. If you give it to me, I'm not going to marry you. I'll find someone who, if I ask, she's going to resist. Yes, she's the one. It truly tells that even if I marry her and she goes out, there's no way she's going to give herself to other people. So that's what some guys think. They will force you into it. But don't be fooled by what they say. They just want to have you, and that's all. And going for other ladies who they think are faithful, who wouldn't give it to other guys. Yeah.
Wow. So basically, some other guys do it to test you.
Do you still want to talk?
See your loyalty.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and come here.
Why are we always saying that it's only guys who normally ask for sex? It is never
That's
true.
another question.
It is never true. Please, it is never true. I'll tell you, bro. Should I say it? Okay. I'll say it too. Pastor, I'll say it too.
Say it. You have the right.
Okay. So I had this friend. a female friend. She was my girlfriend, and she asked for sex, and
Was okay.
She asked for sex, and I didn't do it. And for that matter, she slept with my friend, my best friend.
Whoa. Whoa.
So you see, it's not always that guys always ask for sex. Sometimes to the girls too, they do ask. So girls, please stop saying guys. You too, you do the same thing. Thank
so
you.
it is on both sides.
Yes, it is both sides.
It is.
Did you want to say something? He's
okay,
closer.
he raised the hand.
Okay, I wanted to say that sex won't secure a relationship.
Okay.
Because if you are a girl and you come and sleep with me here, I don't know whom I'm going to marry because I'm not prepared right now. So if you sleep with me right now, it means you are not the one. So I think it won't secure a relationship. And how sure am I that am I the only one you are sleeping with? Once you've given me that sex, it means you can give it to another person too.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Almost confirming what he said.
Yeah.
Yes, one last one.
All right. I would like to ask the question on a personal level. Why won't I have sex with you? First of all, I would like to say sex we see physically has some spiritual implications. My father told me that when you become one with someone, it's through the act of sex. So if I know deep down in my heart that you are not the one and I become one with you, I will not like it because whatever you do also has an implication on me. Also, when you come to Legon, the cases of HIV/AIDS are rising high. It's very serious. So I won't like to put myself in the situation whereby before you realize, what killed Edmund? HIV. Even that one, my obituary, when they're writing it, I will not be happy because they'll be lying.
Sad that person.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that's a fact. Yeah.
See, let me put the question this way. I like the contributions that have come so far. Is there a role that sex plays in premarital relationships? Let's be honest. Do we believe there is a role, any role at all, that would you want to talk? You're thinking through. Is there any role at all that sex plays? Are we saying it is zero? Are we saying it plays no role at all? Yeah.
Honestly, sex before marriage, for some people, plays a role because they want to actually know whether my sexual drive matches hers. If we are on the same level, I feel like we can go and still continue to, hit on and just continue having sex. I won't have a problem with it. You see, for some people, they feel like sex. If I don't do it, you see, you have to test it and know what I want. So if I see a guy and I know that this guy, the way he looks, he will be very good in bed, I would want to marry him. But then if I go and I marry someone who is not good in bed or who does not match my sexual drive, I can equally divorce the person.
Okay, so then it means for that matter, sex plays a very important role. At least the way the person matches your sex.
The way people say whether he'll be good in bed, I wonder if the whole of marriage happens on bed.
That's it's like marriage is all about sex.
Anyways, so and I want to do this snappy, and then I would ask Pastor to just give us some few tips on sex, premarital sex. But are we saying that none of us here believes in premarital sex? I'm looking at your faces individually, scanning.
This is nice. I know my nice people.
It's good. But Pastor, can you share with us briefly why premarital sex is not good?
I mean, first of all, we are Christians. Everybody watching knows Christians, we're not supposed to do that. But you see, let's even try to pretend to put the Bible aside and see if there is any benefit. First of all, just as you mentioned, sex kind of brings people together. And the moment you are in a premarital relationship, first of all, understand what we spoke about. The purpose is to know the person. Now, sex is one of the most powerful emotions or feelings, I don't know what it drives that God gave to us. It has a way of kind of blinding you from understanding or seeing the true nature of a person.
Exactly so.
What the mistakes many people do today is that when they are in a relationship, they are also in a sexual relationship, and because of that, their meetings, their conversations, about 80 to 90% of them are centered around the desire. Okay, when they are talking to each other, it's about their bodies. When they see each other, they are aroused, both of them, not only the guy. Because they are aroused, that desire causes them to overlook any fault, to overlook any shortcoming, to overlook anything that may be a problem in marriage. Now, the moment you get married and you realize that the sex, as you said, is highly overrated, you realize that it's really not the price. That is when you begin to see those things that you should have looked at. And so premarital sex actually guarantees a failed marriage. Premarital sex. It is one of the reasons why there is an increase in divorce rates these days, because we are not looking at what we're supposed to look at. And one guy shared the experience with me and said, Pastor, the reason why when he got married, they stayed together for 8 years before they got married. After marriage, and 3 months in marriage, they were discussing divorce. They've been together for 8 years. And on their honeymoon, I personally took them to a hotel. On their honeymoon, the next day I went to pick them. I said, Charlie, boys know what they thought. Charlie, enjoy is also nothing. What? And the enemy will be there. We have slept in hotels several times before. We have been together. That's what he told me. So basically, he said
there's nothing novel, nothing that binds.
So on their honeymoon night, he said he didn't do anything. He was tired. He slept. And after 3 months in the relationship, when reality set in, and the body is no more the prize that he always wanted to have, then he started seeing, so sad out here. So this is how you are. So then 3 months they were discussing divorce. So premarital sex actually does not lead to or does not guarantee in any way that you are going to have a successful marriage.
Pastor, I like what you said very much. That when you focus on sex, because it is so powerful, it takes away from developing the other aspects. Where there is love, there are no laws. And you can very well judge something you are infatuated with.
Yes.
And sex comes with that deep infatuation for that person. So then you are not able to judge the person and then really look at who the person really is. Then again, we just spoke about multiple relationships. So as you are in a multiple relationship and then you are having sex with them.
All of them.
Okay. Then again, that also creates problems for you when you settle down and you have to settle with one person, because you have taught yourself to sleep with several people, and therefore definitely you can't marry. At least you can't marry the Christian marriage.
Yes.
You've built yourself not to be able to marry as a Christian would marry. So putting all these things together, I believe that there's a lot to gain from abstaining from sex before you marry than there is in having sex before you marry. And thank you very much for.
Pastor, let me just quickly say this before we wrap up. So some people also have this idea that if I don't have sex with him or her, especially with the ladies, that is their problem. If I don't have sex with him, how would I know he's powerful? How would I know he's a man? First of all
power belongs to God.
You see, we need to understand something. You can stay in a relationship with somebody for 10 years and you may still not know something about him. Okay. There are some things you can test and see. But sex, you cannot use the act itself to test before you go into it. We have the underlying the idea that, or believe that it is a sin in the first place. Now, if you enter into a marriage relationship with somebody, we always tell people to begin premarital counseling on time, so you can have the full 6 months. You understand me? During that 6 months, the counselor would counsel you well and ask both of you if you believe that you are there. You understand me? The man, when you wake up in the morning, you see the sun rising.
Are you potent?
You know what I'm talking about. Are you potent? Now, that is like giving your word to the lady. If you marry such a man who has declared to you and to God before the counselor in church and has vowed that I have given you everything and I've told you everything that's the truth, and then you enter into the room on your honeymoon night to discover that he is Kodyoto, the law of the land and the SDA church agrees that that marriage should be killed that very day.
Of course, because it will not be consummated. It is the sex that consummates it.
So you understand me? So don't worry about that. Don't worry, because you can never say, well, let us have sex and see. What if he also says that I want you to get pregnant and see if you can also give birth?
And then the lists are endless.
The lists are endless. There are some things you may never know.
And this thing of I want to know whether we are sexually compatible and all those things. I don't know why we lie to ourselves like that. We're not having sex education here, but sex is a thing of the mind. It's a thing of the mind more than it is of the
body.
Of the body and all these things. So this thing of I want to test to see whether and even at that stage, it's not just the potency, but whether we are our sexual energies. Satan has brought some of all these things to deceive us. And so then, how many people are you going to test? So I test this one. No, it's not compatible with that person. So it doesn't make sense. I think that we are safer when we go by how God has designed that we go.
Yeah,
by it.
it's true.
And with He on our side, there's nothing that we can do.
And you would agree with me that when there is no sex, there's actually no broken heart. Your investment level is so small, lesser. So when it doesn't work, you are not bothered.
You're able to walk away.
Yeah. So let's stay safe. All right. I think we have.
If the money goes inside.
The money goes inside. Well, maybe we'll talk about that at another time, because premarital relationship is not marriage. Yeah. You don't need to invest
anything. Don't give
anything.
more than you can safely part with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything you give should be a gift from your heart.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much. God bless you for your contribution.
All right, so guys,
thank you.
Yes, Pastor, thank you also. And friends who watch, if you have any question yourself, maybe you have a personal question on relationship and stuff like that, please feel free. The WhatsApp number is on the screen right now. Send it to us, and then we'll be there to support you. I also want to remind you, Nas Eugene is 60 years old, as you can see in the T-shirt. We're celebrating our anniversary come this November. Be there to support us, and let's build Nas together. God bless you so much. We shall come here again with another episode of The Truth That Set Free. Remember, the Bible says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Shalom. What do you say to them? Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you.